Hello, everybody. Welcome to the first show of the week. Ben and I are here, and hopefully you had a lot of great weekend. In the first hour, we're going to have computer and technology news brought to you by Slimware Utilities, the official optimization software of Computer America. And then we're going to be talking to the CEO of a company called Kyasi. All right. And they really make all kinds of mobile accessories, and they have some very interesting things. So we're going to talk to them. So sit back, relax, enjoy the show as we begin 2 hours of Computer America.
1 minute until showtime.
You did mention stories in the first hour, right?
Yes, news stories in the first
stories
hour.
in the first hour.
Yes, it is.
A lot of cool things with Windows 10 happening. So definitely gonna cover all of that as well.
Yes, Windows 10 and a number of
Not Windows X, Windows 10.
Yes, Windows 10, exactly. Also, a story for a woman who threw out an Apple One computer.
Good riddance.
Yeah, over $200,000 worth. So here we go.
Your show will go live in 5 seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1.
Broadcasting live, it's America's longest-running national radio talk show on computers, Computer America, hosted by national columnist Craig Crossman. Look for Craig's weekly column in your favorite newspaper. This show is being beamed nationwide at ComputerAmerica.com. Keep it here for technology news, computer products, guest interviews, and your phone calls. You're listening to Computer America.
Hello, and welcome into the Computer America Show. It's the nation's longest-running, nationally syndicated radio talk show on computers. Computer America is heard around the world and coast to coast. And I'm your host, Craig Crossman.
And I'm your co-host, Ben.
And it's Monday.
All right. Yay, Monday.
Yay, Monday. And hopefully all of you had a wonderful weekend. We continue to do all kinds of things with our Computer America website. We have a couple of schedule changes. We've since updated the website to reflect that. What was the first hour guest? We basically
Dream Keeper.
No, it's not Dream Keeper.
Dream Cheaper.
Dream Cheaper. Yeah, Dream Cheaper has been moved to a different time, and we'll have that set up. I think for the 16th of that's Tuesday, about 2 weeks from now. And by the way, it is June. I don't know what happened to May, but it is June, so it is June.
May went and got out of the way because, of course, summer is everyone's favorite season. So they thought, hey, let's get it around. Unless, of course, you're Australian, in which case, sorry for the snow.
Summer is upon us. Yes, it is. So, anyhow, as I said, our second hour guest is going to be Kyasi. They're going to be joining us, the CEO of that company. Again, congratulations to our social media winner of the week. Last week, our very first really social media winner of the week, and he's already been informed, and we actually got a thank you letter. Christopher Weaver was our first social media winner. He actually sent a email, if I can find it, to us.
What did he say? Did he say, "Oh man, I never even expected this. Oh, thank you so much. Oh, I don't even know what to do with it. You're too kind. Computer America, we love you." I'm sure that's what he said.
Something along those lines. Actually, we had a nice response from Daniel Merkel, who was our second place winner in our recent Logitech contest. He says, "Wow, thank you very much, and thank you, Craig, for the always interesting and very informative shows." That was from Daniel Merkel, who listens to.
Oh, okay, that's fine. I'm just here every night, but whatever. That's all right. All right, Daniel. I thought we were friends, but whatever.
He listens to us in Pewaukee, Wisconsin.
Well, I know where I'm not going next.
You're not going to visit
Wisconsin? No. The whole state of Wisconsin is just off the map.
But we're not a big
collateral damage.
Yeah, Pewaukee. He's not going to be visiting you in the near future. But
burn that bridge.
I'm glad that he enjoys his prize. Okay,
Why
so
don't you two go have a picnic or something? Whatever.
so in the meantime, we're going to do some computer and technology news in the first hour, and we got a lot of interesting stories to talk about. If you have a comment or a suggestion about anything we're talking about tonight, 347-884-8881. 347-884-8881 will get you on and get you through. Even though we're doing news, if you have a question or comment for us, we will always stop what we're doing. We always love to hear from you. And just give us a call. And of course, you can also join us in our live interactive chat room from our homepage at computeramerica.com. Just go to the right there, and the first item that is right next to the homepage is our show lounge, and just click on that or hover over it and go to the full screen chat. It'll ask you, it'll say want to chat, and just put in a username. That's the name you'll be known by when you go in there. And
it's the same as any other. It's the same as any other chat room you've been in, but this one also connects to Twitter. So if you have a Twitter handle, sign in with Twitter, and you get your profile picture up there and all that kind of cool stuff. So, but yeah, join us in there, talking all the time. Always a good time in there.
Yes, it is. All right, and we love to see you in there. Again, the easiest thing was the phone call, 347-884-8881. Okay, so let's do some computer news. Let's lead off the week with computer and technology news. Tonight's computer and technology news is brought to you by Slimware Utilities, the official optimization software of Computer America. You can visit them at slimwareutilities.com to clean, speed up, and optimize your Windows system for free. That's right. Everything at slimwareutilities.com is completely free. Download them all. Why not? They're free, and they don't charge you at any time. They're completely free. You'll have them when you need them, and you'll thank us for it when you do download them. slimwareutilities.com. So the first...
no, wait. Before you start with your first one,
yeah.
This is one that many Windows users, because you being a Mac person would not know this. This weekend, I believe around Saturday, I was, unfortunately struck by an unfortunate power outage thanks to Craig Crossman flipping the breakers for no reason. And when my computer rebooted, because that happens so infrequently, guess what popped up there in the system tray?
Windows 10?
Windows 10, and here, let me pull up the video. By the way, we have a whole video component to the show, so you don't have to watch it right away, but if you feel like going back and watching the video portion, it is helpful for some of the demonstrations we do here on the show. But anyways, this weekend, Windows 10 has landed on Windows computers, all Windows 7 and 8 and 8.1 computers. This nifty little window pane of Windows 10 pops up in your system tray. Click on it, and you get this this prompt for a free upgrade.
And it even tells you how the free upgrade works.
Yep. The first one is you install it, and it will let you download Windows 10 once for free. You're going to need 3 gigs on your primary hard drive so that it can store the data, and then it will turn your system into a Windows 10 computer. But you reserve your copy. I believe they're shipping sometime next month. You reserve it now, but you don't actually get to install it until much later. But yeah, so you reserve it, you install it, and then after that, it's just that simple. No going into Costco, no going into Sam's Club, no going wherever it is you buy DVDs and CDs. You can download it and install it just from your web browser. And they have a little thing here, kind of pushing it, saying that, oh, you're already an expert because Windows 10 is so much like Windows 7 that you'll be just fine. And kind of pumping it up, saying that it's really cool with amazing new features. But yeah, if you haven't received this in your system tray, it will be in next time you restart your computer or update your computer. And yeah, it's Microsoft's way of letting you know which computers are eligible for that free Windows 10 upgrade.
So you haven't you can't upgrade yet, is what you're saying. It's just you're reserving your spot.
No, yeah, you reserve it, and then as soon as it becomes available, they'll send an email to your registered email address, or of course you could always use your system right here, and it'll send you a reminder. Hey, Windows 10 is finally available, and you just go through the steps and you upgrade it.
Well, in
So
that respect, one of the news stories about this is Maximum PC says that Microsoft ends the Windows 10 pricing speculation.
well, yeah, no, but that's going a step further. I just want to bring everyone their attention to this, because if you haven't received this yet, then something is probably might want to keep an eye out for it. Wait a couple more days, but they've started letting everyone know. So if you haven't received this, double check and make sure that your copy of Windows 7 or 8 is registered and authentic, and after that, you should be good to go.
Do you have to reboot your computer to get that in your system tray, or
I noticed it after I rebooted. So I don't want to say outright you have to, but it won't hurt.
okay, all right. Well,
But yeah, no, the really really neat thing is they finally announced like this happened this weekend, and then they did this today, where after the free install, they tell you now today they tell you how much Windows 10 is actually going to be worth.
yes, we've done that. And here's the breakdown: Windows 10 Home, $119. Okay, if you want Windows 10 Pro, that's going to be $199. And if you want the Windows 10 Pro pack, that's $99. Okay, so that's going to be the price.
$99 for the Windows 10 Pro pack?
Yes.
What are the differences between, let's say, the Home and the Pro version?
Well, we actually did that, but there are they basically Windows 10 Home gives you everything as it says that you need in your home environment. Pro adds a lot of networking abilities and things that you might see more for for IT professionals.
Yeah, for enterprise and the like.
Yeah. Basically, Windows 10 Pro has everything that Windows 10 Home has, and they've added the additional things. And there is, and most of this speculation or things I said was that unless you're again you're in a business environment, you're probably not going to need the Pro. The Home will.
Yeah, no, home is generally what most people use, and Home, I believe, is I'm sorry. Before I even make myself incorrect here, depending on which version of Windows 7 or Windows 8 you have, like let's say you have Windows 7 Pro, I believe it's a 1-to-1 upgrade, so you'll automatically be updated to Windows 10 Pro. Or if you're a home user and you have Windows 7 Home, you'll then get Windows 10 Home for free.
Okay,
so,
good.
I believe that's how it works. So hey, at least now we know this whole free upgrade to Windows 10 thing. It's gonna save you about $100.
Yes. Okay. Now, and I think that is. They also go into hardware requirements, although we had talked about that pretty much as well.
Yeah, the hardware requirements seem pretty low. So
yeah, that's it. Okay. All right. Well, then let me move to this story. This is on several.
Whoa! 2 stories in a row.
Oh, okay. Well, I thought we were fine. Okay, you could. I thought I was kind of spinning off from yours, but okay, you go ahead.
Well, which one did you have in mind? Because it might be the one that I want to talk about.
Well, it's the women tossing an Apple One computer into the recycling bin.
No.
Okay. All right.
There's your teaser, folks. Apple One computer thrown in the trash.
Yeah.
Thank you. About time. Anyways, no. This next one, it's also from Maxim PC. Mr. Pulkit Chanda. Chanda. There we go. And SanDisk. You know them, you love them. We've I believe we've had them on the show before. I'm pretty sure we've had almost everyone on in the industry on the show before. But they have a new 128 gigabyte 3.0 flash drive, not 2.0, because this isn't the largest. This isn't the largest USB we've ever seen, because we've seen those go up to like 500 and even a terabyte in a flash drive. But the cool thing about this one is it's a 3.0 flash drive that is smaller than a dime.
It's so tiny.
Think of a dime, and there you go, smaller than that. So, but yeah, no, it's a high capacity USB flash drive, and it's the world's smallest at, again, 128 gigs. 3.0, and apparently the company's the other is the company's highest capacity at 256. So they also have a 256 version as well. And these things are crazy. They're 56.8 millimeters by 21 millimeters by 10.8 millimeters. Crazy small. They have a 5-year warranty. They have secure access software to keep everything private and safe. So these are fully tricked out USB drives. They're not some kind of cheeky, gimmicky.
Let's send it.
No, everything that you expect from a SanDisk, it's able to do. So at 100 megabytes read and write, this thing is crazy for the size.
Yeah,
it's really cool.
Well, when you put it into the 3.0, it almost goes flush into the USB 3.0.
Oh yeah,
it's that tiny.
Very nice.
It's not a dongle that hangs up, sticks out. It goes flush into the computer, and again, the transfer rate of this thing is incredibly fast. The 256 gigabytes in the Ultra USB 3.0 flash drive. Yeah,
only $200. Yeah.
I cannot believe how inexpensive that is. And the transfer rate, as you mentioned, 100 megabits per second. 100 megabytes, excuse me, 100 megabytes per second.
The best part about all of this as well is that I really like the smaller form factor, because I tend to run my hands all over my laptop, and the larger ones I knock and they get bent and they get broken, and it's just a hassle. Here you're never going to do that, first of all, and then second of all, this is perfect for things like Chromebooks and other places that need additional storage. It'll be very small. You would even forget that it's there, probably, unless you need that USB, unless you needed that port for some reason. But 128 gigs, that would really almost double or at least give you another half, again, as much storage as most Chromebooks or tablets out there.
Now, the other thing is that if that wasn't enough, the drives also come with SanDisk Secure Access. Which lets you create encrypted password protected folders for private files. And also you get a free year subscription to the Rescue Pro software, which attempts to restore files that have been lost or accidentally deleted. And the Rescue Pro software is specifically designed for flash memory. Very, very important, because they have similar programs that will rescue stuff from your hard drive. Rescuing files from a flash disk is completely different. The technology is completely different, and the program has to be designed to work with the flash drive in order to retrieve files that have been deleted or what have you, or accidentally deleted. And Rescue Pro software from SanDisk is designed specifically for these drives, and they give you a year's free subscription to that. So it's for $200. That's one heck of a deal, really, especially for that large one. For
sure. But it just really brings the word thumb drive now thumbnail drive. Like, this thing is, again, the best part of it, very, very fast, very, very cool, but again, smaller than a dime.
They need to rename it. A thumb drive is too antiquated. We should call it Pinky Drive or
incredibly small hard drive.
Tiny toe drive. Something.
But no, seriously, you could eat this thing and then pass it, and you would not be worse for wear.
And think of all the memory you would gain by doing.
Oh yeah, seriously, it would never forget.
Exactly. I think you'd want to forget if you did that. But again, available, and evidently it's available now. You can go.
Yep. Again, SanDisk. So check it out.
Yeah, exactly. Highly recommended. All right. Well, you listen to the Computer America show. Ben and I are doing computer and technology news, brought to you by Slimmer Utilities. This story, I saw this and I kind of rolled my eyes. But what was they've been auctioning off Apple I computers, and when I say auctioning off, I'm not talking about Joe's computer store auction or something. We're talking like Christie's and Sotheby's. These are like the premier auction sites of the world that deals with exclusive rare cars and
Yeah, who knew old technology would get such high praise, but people want it.
Yeah, exactly. Well, the Apple One computer, which was the very first one, they only made 666, I think, actual versions of the computer, and they sold for $666. So most of those have been lost in antiquity, but some of the recent ones sold for $300,000 to $600,000. $600,000 for a computer that had like 4K, not 4 gigs, not 4 megs, 4K of RAM on it, and that was like fully loaded. No monitor, no keyboard, no floppy disk drive, no drive of any kind. Quite frankly, you had to have a tape drive, cassette tape drive, and you only bought the motherboard. That's how they were sold. Anyhow, this woman found an Apple One in her when she was cleaning out her house. Did not know what this was. Now, and this was reported in the San Jose Mercury News. So basically, this woman, she found, as she's quoted as saying, she took one look at an Apple One computer in her house and thought, "This old box is cluttering up my house. It's got to go." And so she wanders along to her local recycling center. Remember, this is California, so they're dedicated to recyclers of anything, and dropped it off for mangling. Okay, now the recycling company is called Clean Bay Area. Okay, its vice president told the San Jose Mercury News that the woman was cleaning out her house after her husband had died. Evidently, her husband had purchased this, and she said, "This is a quote from the vice president of the Clean Bay Area." She said, "I want to get rid of this stuff and then clean up my garage. Do you need a tax receipt?" And she said, "No, I don't need anything," and walked on off.
Okay, so let's jump a little bit ahead in the story. How is any of this verified? Like, how do we know that she actually did this? There's no receipt. There's no proof. That's
right. Well, we relied on the honesty of Clean Bay Area. I mean, the guy was the vice president. Realized what it was, and knew immediately. Evidently, he was a techno kind of guy and saw it. And the woman performed her drop off in early April, but his staff, they finally got to the boxes after she left in a couple of weeks. At first, he thought it was a fake when he saw this thing. He says, and now what they want to do is they want to give her $100,000. This is evidently because this is the company policy. Clean Bay Area sold this Apple One earlier this month to a private collector for $200,000, and they're insisting they split the proceeds with down the middle with this woman, but they can't find her. So she's wandered off. They got $100,000 waiting for her. They can't find her. Now,
that's like I want to say that's like winning the lottery, but it's more like finding an old lottery ticket that is still redeemable, dropping it off, saying, "Oh no, please shred this," and then someone saying a couple weeks later, "Oh wait, no, this is a good lottery ticket. You need to come back and claim this," but then they can't find the winner.
Yeah. Now,
tragic.
As an interesting aside, some people might wonder whether Clean Bay Area got enough money for one of these 1976 artifacts. 2 years ago, an Apple One went to auction and fetched $387,750, and one before that got over $600,000. The one that got they actually thought it was going to go for over $1 million, but the last one sold went for $387,000.
I don't think anyone is getting $300 and some odd $1,000 for old technology and thinking, "Oh shucks."
Yeah. Well, it's a collector's item. Let's face it. It's like anything else. I mean, what's a Picasso? It's just a canvas with some paint on it. Swirls of paint. It has no intrinsic value anymore.
That's a good point to make, because I don't want people, sitting there listening and thinking, looking over at their Logitech mouse and going, I should save that for 60 years. Someone will want that one day. There's a lot of technology out there. I think it has to have some kind of significance for it to be, denoted as a collectible. And the Apple One was definitely that. It's what brought personal computing to the masses. That it's in terms of tech memorabilia, that's one of the best.
It is a pivotal point in our technological history and folklore. I mean, these things were built by hand by Steve Wozniak himself. He hand assembled these. There was no production line. He was sitting there with a soldering gun or soldering iron and putting these things by hand. And Steve Jobs, there with him doing this stuff. I mean, this has.
I don't want people walking away and saying, "Oh, I got this Gateway from 1993. Let's go send it to Sotheby's and see what it brings." Not the same thing.
No, not that's a good point. It's not the same thing. This is pivotal in the development of how in the world of computing, and now they're still trying to find this woman. The guy, the VP of the company, said that he knew that she drives an SUV. And he wonders if she'll see the publicity and come forward, and said, should she do so, I wonder what she'll spend her newfound $100,000 on. And he speculates maybe shares in Apple, maybe. But that's it.
Nice. Yeah, I never thought about getting 2 shares in Apple. That'd be amazing.
Yeah, well, 2, maybe 1.5. But really, I mean, she has still not come forward. She hasn't heard anything about it. And numerous stories have gone out, but she still has not come forward to claim this computer. As of yesterday, she still has not come forward to claim it. So, but there you go.
I'm sure she'll surface eventually.
The thing is, they knew they only made so many. I think there was 666.
666. They did that on purpose.
Yeah, they did that on purpose, and they sold it for $666. So, and they. The thing is, they thought most of them had been destroyed, but every once in a while, a new one will surface like this. This was obviously in her attic or basement, and her husband probably bought it years ago, and he passed on, and it was just sitting there gathering dust, and then she found it. And that's, if any others will resurface, I guarantee you, pretty much that's how they'll come to.
Oh yeah, no, they'll be in a box in an attic or a basement somewhere doing nothing.
Yep. Hopefully. Have the
really 666 of them. You got to figure some of them were malfunctioned or they were not put together right. Sorry, Wozniak. Even you have bad days, and they just threw it out and said, "I'm never buying an Apple again," and it was gone. So the fact that they're so collectible is also because they're so rare.
Yeah, the current ones are out there in the glass cases. They put them in glass. They even have one of them actually has the check. The front and the back of the check that was originally given to them to purchase the Apple One, and that's part of the collection. Like anything else, the more provenance you have about something, a thing that you have, provenance being the story behind the thing. So if you can have the actual check that was used to print, but maybe it has the signature of Wozniak on the check, or Jobs, who or the accounting. I mean, that all adds to the value of the device. The more provenance you have, the more valuable.
Yep. Okay. Enough Apple fanboying. That's
okay.
I feel like we're getting into a hole here.
Yeah. Well, it was fun. I thought it was an interesting story. Human interest story.
Okay. Well, I have this next story here. Human interest. If you find this interesting, and this one is from Gizmodo. And as the title reads, oh gosh darn it, Netflix is testing ads.
Oh, okay.
For anyone out there who has been watching Netflix, apparently that's just Craig that hasn't. Netflix has traditionally been all you can consume, all you can eat for $8 to $9 a month, with 0 ads whatsoever.
All right.
And now it turns out, again, according to Gizmodo and Kate Nibbs, that they're testing ads. They have a quote here.
No.
Yeah, there you go. They have a quote here saying that the company is only showing trailers for shows like Orange is the New Black and House of Cards, as not attempted to sell third-party ads. And the company told me that for the moment, only specific users in specific markets are seeing ads. So they've right now they're only pushing in certain markets, just like they said, they're only pushing their own content, which still I don't think people are going to like, because they enjoy Netflix simply because you don't have to sit there and wait 30. You don't even have to wait 30 seconds between shows. You can just binge watch, go and go and go and go, and throwing ads in there really breaks it up. It just sounds awful. So though they have here in the article saying that some analysts are saying that the company needs ads to be profitable, and while people aren't very happy with the test ads, competitors like Hulu Plus already have them from third parties, and so the native ad testing is still less obnoxious than that. But the author is painting a pretty bleak future for Netflix, in saying that yes, right now it's just their own, but that could change in the future. Although I will qualify this in saying that when we come back, there is an update to the story from Netflix, and their whole comment on that. So we'll get to that right after the break.
Okay. All right. You're listening to the Computer America Show. Ben and I are doing computer and technology news brought to you by Slimware Utilities, the official optimization software. Some of the other stories coming up is a report from Ars Technica about Nintendo's next console will have an Android-based OS. These stories and more coming up on the Computer America Show. A brand new news test bulletin review from Marty Winston coming up too. Stay with us.
Don't complain about your cable bill going up and up and up. Do something about it. Grab a pencil and jot down this special number, 1-866-663-MY-TV. The more cable TV rates go up, the better digital satellite TV looks. So, disable the cable and get more of your favorite channels in 100% digital quality for less money. Call 1-866-663-MY-TV right now to sign up for packages starting as low as $19.99 and up to 4 rooms. And there's no equipment to buy. That includes your free HD TV upgrade, your free DVR upgrade, and your free professional installation. And the best part, the pristine digital picture and sound. Call 1-866-663-MY-TV. So, what are you waiting for? Pull out your major credit or debit card. Call 1-866-663-MY-TV. 1-866-663-MY-TV. Disable the cable, cut costs, and get more. Call 1-866-663-MY-TV. 1-866-663-MY-TV.
Hi, this is Craig Crossman, host of the Computer America Show. You have important meetings to schedule. Your company's getting ready for its IPO, and you're in charge of the PTA fundraiser this month. So how do you coordinate everyone to be available at the same time? Are you still using emails, phone calls, even text messages to schedule meetings with a group of people? How's that working out for you? That's so great, huh? It's a fact that every day, millions of people suffer from scheduling headaches. Well, with Doodle, scheduling meetings with a group of people is quick and easy. With Doodle, you can easily propose available times to each member. Each one checks off the times that they're available, and then you simply pick the time that works best for the group, all in an easy-to-read display that integrates with your existing calendar. Nothing could be more simple. Give Doodle a try for free, and like millions of Doodle users, you'll truly see how easy it is to find the perfect date and time for all your meetings. That's www.doodle.com.
Oh, didn't you know she was going to do that? Marty Winston with the News Tips Bulletin Review for Computer America. This time, the Amzer Universal Stando tablet stand. Tablets can be a puzzlement when it comes to what to do with them when you're using them, and then what to do with them when you're not using them. They tend to eat up a lot of desktop space. When we travel, we take a Bluetooth keyboard so we can type faster and more accurately for mobile versions of many apps. But back at the desk, we tend to use the tablet for a more limited number of specific apps, from tracking incoming packages to our calendar to weather. We got in the Amzer Stando Universal Tablet Stand for review. It holds the corners of any 7-inch to 11-inch tablet with spring-loaded sliding grips, which are effective. The grip panel rotates freely in a full circle. It's on an adjustable tilt hinge to its more or less circular 5.5-inch wide base. It positions a tablet well for desktop use in tandem with a keyboard, though the stand may be too big and bulky for many people who want to pack it for travel. As a desktop stand for light use, it's a very handy platform. For more detailed use in email, reviews, or online shopping, it doesn't tilt back far enough for up-close usage. Bottom line, the Amzer Stando tablet stand may not be as universal as its name suggests, but in several circumstances, it's an excellent choice. Marty Winston, News Tips Bulletin for Computer America.
Welcome back to the Computer America Show. Thank you, Marty Winston, for that News Tips Bulletin review. And Craig and I are doing computer and technology news, brought to you by, as he said earlier, Slimware Utilities. And just want to finish this article here. We were talking about from Gizmodo, and how Netflix has promised. Well, they've been trying ads on Netflix for their own original content. Well, turns out there's an update. They were really, really quick to squash this, and they said it via tweet and also by a couple of other news outlets that they try hundreds of potential improvements to the service every year. This is one of them, and they said that many of them never seem to make it past the light of day, and this could be one of them. It's just something that they're trying. So, I guess to cap off this story, it is along the lines of Netflix is testing out ads, but they're not going to sell third-party ads ever. That has never changed. So,
well, if it comes down to seeing ads for other movies that Netflix might have, I don't have as much of a problem with that. Any more so that when I go to a movie, I actually kind of look forward to trailers in movie houses when you go there, because you can kind of see there are like little previews as to what's coming up, in the next month or next week or whatever. And if Netflix does that, that's kind of interesting.
I'm not even for that either. Like, I don't see the purpose in trying to drive numbers towards their original content, because I'm already in their ecosystem. I'm already a locked-in member because I'm watching Netflix. I don't see why I have to be like. They have a section in their queue saying recommended picks, top picks, suggested for you, popular on Netflix, and they could put their original content among any of those, and I wouldn't think twice, and it would still get in front of me, and I'd be like, oh, okay, that exists, and then if I want to watch it, I watch it. But to throw ads in there, I'm personally not for that.
Okay, when you say
because at the end of the day, they're not going to make more money by me watching their original content. I'm already paying them, their $8.
But sometimes when you go on Netflix, you say, there's not a particular movie that you want to watch. Let me see some trailers or something, or maybe they can make some recommendations. And they do have that. And also they also make recommendations based upon what you've watched, which I kind of like actually in the past, because they'll actually put me onto another picture that that I haven't might not have been aware of. And so,
really, Craig, the one who is so famous for touting the amazingness of ad blocker, saying that you want ads.
No, I didn't say that. All I'm saying is that if they're making movie recommendations, that would be nice.
Only for their original content.
Well, then, okay. Well,
and they already do that. By the way, like at the end of anything you watch on Netflix, it says those who like that also enjoyed, and they give you 3 to 5 other ones. And then as you kind of rate things 1 to 5 stars, they build up a profile for you, and they'll automatically recommend different shows and movies and things like that based on your preferences. Like, they already do that.
Yeah, and also their homepage, they'll display what's new, and also they'll send an email, I think once a week, says here's a movie that we think you may enjoy.
Yeah, but again, focusing on the ads, I don't think they're necessary, and I'm not a fan. So hopefully this doesn't get too far.
All right. Well, good points.
Like, if they're not profitable enough, I'd rather them raise the cost of Netflix by like $1, because let's face it, Netflix owns the world. They have pretty much every online streaming subscriber, because they don't have ads. That's a huge drawback from Hulu. Hulu has television shows all over Netflix, but they are annoying. That's the best way to put it. They have good content, but the way that they put people through their ads, like even after you pay, they still make you sit there and watch the ads, and that turns a lot of people off. Netflix doesn't have that problem. They're obviously doing well, and I'd hate to see that go away.
Yeah. Okay.
So, anyways.
No, I agree with you on everything that you've said. That, I mean, it makes sense. My first instinct, my first reaction was, okay, they're going to show me movies that I might want to watch, so like trailers. But that's not what they're. You can see those trailers, or they have a vehicle whereby to display those movie trailers on there, but at your own discretion. They're not forcing you to watch those trailers, which I think is the better way to do it. Okay.
Yeah, they're not forcing you. So, but at the same time, I binge watch show after show after show after show, and for that to even be broken up by a 30-second ad would eventually get annoying. But that's neither here nor there. But
well, you know, when you go to websites like CBS or ABC or so the big networks, and you can watch a show that you may have missed, or you want to watch shows. Inevitably, they hit you with the commercials that you cannot skip over, and I find those so annoying. Especially when they show you the same commercial over and over and over again. That's what's really nuts. The same commercial.
Yep.
5 in a row. Same commercial. Okay. So we're continuing on. Again, Ben and I are doing computer and technology news, brought to you by Slimware Utilities. Do you play Minecraft?
I have played it, and I did purchase it for the full price, so I have supported them, but actively, no.
Okay. I think your brother, Aaron, used to play Minecraft.
He was into it for a while as well.
Okay. Well, Lego has just launched their own Minecraft, and according to the story from Kotaku, the best way to describe Minecraft is a digital Lego. So I guess it was inevitable that Lego would make their own version, and they're calling it Lego Worlds, which is now on Steam Early Access, which is a platform for selling early and unfinished games. Starting today, they're making this available. But you know what? Am I missing something? Are they copying Minecraft? Is there copyright infringement? I'm wondering, what's going to happen with something.
I really think that Lego can pull it off. If anyone was going to do it, it was going to be Lego, because they have a product, like they have a physical product. Their name is known. They're not some fly-by-night company. They're not trying to resell Minecraft switched up into a different way. If they just tried to make the joy of Lego into a computer game, no one is going to say that they ripped off of Minecraft. They could just say, "Oh, that's just like Legos, but put into a computer," which, oddly enough, is pretty much the description they give for Minecraft. It's not going to be copyright. It's just going to be similar. Halo does not pull copyright infringement on Call of Duty, and
yeah, but
they're similar.
Yeah, true. Except we compare Halo with Call of Duty, which takes place in World War II.
No, Call of Duty is all over the place. World War II, right. Modern Warfare, Advanced Warfare, all that good stuff. They're all over the place.
But it's still different. I mean, they don't have the same character. They don't have Master Chief. Like they have. It's still different. Whereas Lego, when you look at digital Lego Worlds. When you look at the screen, I don't know if I'm looking at Minecraft or I'm looking at Lego Worlds. It looks the same, and I'm sorry, but I if I was Minecraft, I mean, imitation is a sincerest form of flattery, yeah, but at this point, I think too close.
Just like Fort in the chat room said, that people think that Lord of the Rings had ripped off Harry Potter for some of his magic use. It's you can get inspiration from it, but it's not going to be a direct rip off unless they go into the source code of these two games and find snippets of code that are one-to-one, I don't think Lego is ever going to be sued for moving in this direction. In fact, people might like it.
Lord of the Rings and Harry Potter are two completely different animals.
Doesn't matter.
Yes, they are. It's a different story, different time. It's totally different mythos.
Well, look, we're not defending that lawsuit. We're defending Lego having the right to digitize their product, which they do.
Right, but I'm just saying, when you look at it, it looks just like Minecraft. The
Minecraft is nothing to look at. It's very simple, very blocky, and very basic for a reason.
And this is very simple and very blocky as well. I'm just saying, when you look at the screen, it's hard. You're hard pressed to tell if you're looking at Lego Worlds or looking at Minecraft. And I'm saying there may be some copyright infringement. This is something obviously left for the lawyers to bring out. I'm just saying that my initial view of this is that it's really, really close, and that maybe Lego should be a little worried.
No, I think they're okay.
Okay. Well, I guess we'll see. By the way, it is available. There's a trail up on the Steam page where they're promising a bunch more features that aren't currently in the early access build of this of Lego Worlds, including online multiplayer, a stage sharing system, and pre-generated towns in Lego Worlds. So these are some things that that you can see if you go to the early access, and that all again begins today. So you can check it out for yourself. Lego Worlds.
All right, Craig. How about this one? Battlefield 4 versus Call of Duty Advanced Warfare. They both take place in the near future. Both first-person shooters. Both large multiplayer online campaigns. What's the difference?
I don't know. I don't know those games as well enough as I did like Lord of the Rings versus
They're very similar. My point is, things can be similar without being copyright. Copyright infringement has gotten out of hand lately. I don't think Lego's going to have a problem.
But maybe Minecraft will. That's what I'm saying.
Not even Minecraft, because they're established. They're both established. No, but okay.
Maybe licensing, and they'll have some licensing issues to hammer out. Maybe they'll make it work.
Yeah, I don't think so. Like, if anyone was going to have a problem with this, it would have been Lego when Minecraft first came out. But Lego didn't raise a fuss, and I don't think Minecraft is going to raise a fuss.
No, that's not fair, because Lego is a physical toy. Minecraft is a computer game that looks nothing like Legos per se. It's blocky, but they don't have the little. It's not a fair comparison. But now you're taking two computer games, and Minecraft was there first, and now Lego's saying, okay, now we're gonna do that, and then it's gonna look a lot like what Minecraft is doing, but we're gonna put our Lego logo on it, and that's where I think the problem arises. So,
okay, we look forward to the impending lawsuit. Okay. So this next one, this is a story from Popular Science, and it's technology showing a side that we all thought was gonna go away. Yeah. And it's a frying pan that will teach you how to cook.
No way.
A frying pan that teaches you how to cook, because we all thought that when technology was going to come around, and although this is not the last form of technology, we thought that technology was going to be cooking for us. I could think back to Flubber, to probably Back to the Future had a couple instances of this, where breakfast was going to be automated. It was all going to put itself together. It was going to cook itself, and it was going to arrive on your plate, ready and done, right there.
Uh-huh.
But this was a winner of the brilliant innovations from the 2015 Innovations Awards, and this one won in the health category. It was they had a couple inventors. The company was Circuit Lab Incorporated, and The invention is called the Pantelligent, like intelligent, but Pantelligent.
Pantelligent, okay. Uh-huh.
Yep, and only costs about $20,000 to get it, and it is
$20,000.
$20,000 to go from going from just an idea to a finished product. This thing is 5 out of 5 done. It's ready to go.
What's it going to retail? What's it going to retail for though when it comes out? I think?
21,000. So they're gonna make their money back really, really fast.
Gee.
No, this one isn't about prices. I'm sorry. The innovation awards are not about prices or selling your product. It's about what is available. So prices have not been announced.
Well, what makes it do what it's describe it? What does it make? How does it teach it to cook?
Yeah. Well, again, it's a smart frying pan, and it measures its temperature with heat sensors, and it transmits the data via Bluetooth, which is, of course, stored in the handle. Anywhere else would be too hot. A smartphone app uses the information to decide when it's time for a recipe's next step. Then it tells the user, quote, to cook amazing food. It tells the user what to do next in the recipe.
Okay.
Quote here, to cook amazing food the way chefs do, you have to build intuition for how long to cook something at the right temperature. We take all the knowledge and pack it into the app. They can choose a pre-programmed recipe, such as chicken adobo or fried eggs, or select freestyle mode to get temperature readings but not instructions. Very helpful if you have an idea of what you're going for, but you've always been a little wonky on the temperatures. This pan will tell you how hot it is. Let's say you need to cook let's say you need to cook steak on the stove, on the stove for 8 minutes at 275 degrees.
Uh-huh.
This will give you exact temperatures, much better than a traditional pan. They say that it de-stresses the kitchen experience, and the Pantelligent team hopes more people will skip unhealthy processed meals in favor of home-cooked ones if they're given the tools they need to make it themselves. So again, Pantelligent, check it out. It's probably going to be coming somewhere, but pretty cool.
Would you use something like that? I know you like to dabble.
We now have something else to say. We always say there's connected fridges, there's connected crock pots. We can now say there's a connected frying pan.
Right.
And yes, I don't need it because I'm an amazing cook, so it would be redundant. But as someone who is probably learning for the first time and has no idea that if you cook something at 300 degrees, you're probably going to scorch it to a crisp, this will help people kind of develop that intuition on how to cook and also give them tools that really chefs up until this point haven't had, which is precise measurements.
I
like it.
You like it. This. You know what this kind of reminds me of is when back in the day when I was selling computers, and I had a guy walk into. I was walking the store, and he said, I'm looking for a computer. I said, great. What would you like to do, with it? And he says, well, my friends and I play gin a lot, and we want a computer to keep score. And I said,
piece of paper and pencil will do that as well, but.
Piece of paper and a pencil and a pad. I said, I can't see you sitting there with a computer trying to keep score during a gym.
You are the worst computer salesman ever. You should have said, oh, well, this brand new Apple III computer will do that and more.
It wasn't even the Apple III. It was back in the Apple II days. I mean, it was just, I said, look, first of all, there's something like that out there. No one's taken the time to make a program like that. And I said, second of all, I said, just use a paper and pencil. No, Craig. I'm sorry. In hindsight, so whoever Craig gave that advice to, it was. You just said it yourself. Nothing like that had been invented. Yeah, I know, but
if they had picked up an Apple II, learned a program, made the program itself, they could have been millionaires by now.
Yeah, there are a lot of things that haven't been invented, and for good reason. They just don't make sense. So,
a scorekeeping program, a scorekeeping program.
Yeah, for playing gin. No.
For playing gin.
Yeah. No. I don't see. Maybe now today with a smartphone, and you can have something running on your iPhone or something or a tablet running in the back. You might be able to do it. It may make.
Don't let anyone tell you no. Don't let people crush your dreams, folks. Even Craig.
You think I crushed his dreams?
Yeah, I think you crushed his gin playing dreams. Shame.
Exactly. And. Anyway, my point being, I think this frying pan, it falls into that same category. They're just some internet.
No, there are people who are actually that adept, that are I'm sorry, not adept, inept. That's the right word.
Inept.
That they can't, or at least they've never had the experience of standing in front of a stove and cooking something in a skillet. That's not their forte.
But they have to have their smartphone running and monitoring, and that's not really.
I have my smartphone running in the kitchen all the time, listening to music, looking something up on the web.
But
It's
not
a big deal.
but not cooking instructions. I mean, granted, if I'm looking for a recipe, that's fine. But to have a fry pan tell me when to flip an egg over because it's done or something, I reserve judgment on that one. I'd have to see more about it.
It tells you how to fry an egg. I can't even fry an egg. I break that yolk every time. I can't even do it. So I see the value in it.
Yeah.
For sure.
Okay.
All right, your turn.
All right. Well, again, you're doing computer and technology news. I don't know if we have time to do this. Google yanks a tool for advanced online photo editing. This is kind of interesting. Google has been talking about Google Photos and its new abilities for archiving and sharing photos, it also quietly drops a sophisticated tool for editing them. Okay, because remember we announced the photo service last week, and they debuted this online photo editing tool as part of the Photos section of its Google Plus social networking services. Now that Google Photos is a standalone service cut loose from Google Plus, the editing tool that's used in it has been pared back to a more basic set of options, including cropping, rotating, adjusting exposure, adding some contrast, pop, tweaking color intensity, and adding filter effects. And that's basically it. Now, why? The head of the Google Photos said that they went back to the drawing board and built an editor that they believe was incredibly powerful yet simple. That's a quote from them. Google's change shows that even with major players active for years, photography in the modern digital era is still a hotly competitive area that hasn't settled down. Now, you know, I mean, obviously we've got Photoshop is one of the 800-pound gorilla, and that was the center of the universe when it came to, you know, handling digital photos. But then mobile devices came along and kind of blasted that market wide open. So basically, web-based photo editing is what we're talking about here, and this only works on Google's Chrome browser. The new editing approach ultimately works for a broader sense of users. Okay, that was the earlier photo editing tool. Would only work with the Chrome browser. Now this new version will work on some of the other browsers as well. So you know, I don't do much photo editing in my browser. I do photo editing on my smartphone if I take it with my smartphone, and I still use Photoshop Elements. I like it. It's really simple to use. But
Photoshop Elements, that's their, I want to say their free one.
No, it's their inexpensive one. It's like $90. It's like and $60 now. But the thing is that the Google one is still completely free. So
in our free software page we have we actually recommend GIMP.
Yes.
Which is the GNU image manipulation program or something like that. Does all the same kind of stuff, just without some of the frills and some of the tools. But honestly, I have Photoshop CS6, I think, and there are so many tools. It's very, very powerful. Like, you can get by with some free stuff, but if you ever have the money to splurge, but now they have the subscription model, so you don't even have to really pay for the full cost.
No.
You kind of just subscribe and you get it. If you can go for that, I would so recommend it. It's just so powerful, and if you do it a lot, it's going to help you.
Exactly. I don't know if you know this, but last month Adobe deleted its Photoshop Touch app for smartphones, and they're evidently starting that all over again. They're going to redo their photo editing software for smartphones, and Google's online photo editing tools are going to be changing will change more in the future.
I feel like at the same time, like they can't. Oh, sorry. They have to have the best photo editing app on the market. Like Photoshop can't just have a good one; they have to have the best one.
Well, yeah. Look at the
because they're Adobe.
Yeah, it's the they're the one that set the standards and everything. Photoshop was the one, you know, and obviously the Adobe name carries a lot of weight. And I mean, compared to Photoshop or GIMP, which one would you get? You know, it was important. Photoshop.
Yeah. If you're trying to make a career out of it, if you were going somewhere to a design firm and you wanted to show them what skill set you had, you can't go in there and say, oh yeah, I'm very proficient with GIMP. No, you have to go in there and say, okay, I'm proficient in Photoshop, Illustrator, you know, After Effects. Like you have to know their suite if you're in the profession.
Yes, this is very true. All right. Well, we find ourselves at the top of the hour, and we're going to pause just briefly and then continue on.
There were a lot of really nice stories that we didn't get a chance to go over, but we'll hit them some other time if we have a chance. But the second hour is coming up, and we have a guest.
Yes, he is the CEO of a company called Kyasi. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. Mr. Steve Simonson, who is the CEO of the company, is going to be here, and they manufacture their own brand of top quality mobile accessories, and some of them they look really nice. He's going to be spending some time with us here on the Computer America Show. You are listening to the Computer America Show. We have another brand new News Tips Bullet review from Marty Winston. That's coming up as well. We'll have Kyasi with us right after this. This is Computer America. Don't go anywhere.
Broadcasting live, it's the only national radio talk show on computers to air every weeknight. Computer America, hosted by national columnist Craig Crossman. The first hour's behind us, but there's still more of tech news, tech talk, and your phone calls. We're being beamed nationwide at ComputerAmerica.com. You got computer problems? Bring them on. You're listening to Computer America. Computers run the world, and we run computers. Call us or send us an email to live@computeramerica.com.
Hello and welcome into Hour 2 of the nation's longest-running, nationally syndicated radio talk show on computers. This is the Computer America Show, and I'm your host, Craig Crossman.
And I'm your co-host, Ben.
And we just finished up our computer and technology news segment, and again, a lot of stories that we didn't get a chance to cover. Hopefully we'll have some more time during the week to get to them. Of course, there are always news stories popping up on an hour-by-hour basis, and if it has anything to do with computers and technology, we're going to try to bring it to you. Now, our next hour guest is going to be talking about the company called Kyasi. If you have a comment or question for him, you can call us at 347-884-8881. That's 347-884-8881. I'll get you on and get you through. And of course, we have another News Tips Bulletin review from Marty Winston coming up as well. Ben, anything else you want to mention before we bring our guest on in this hour?
No, not at all. Go sign up for all of our social media sites.
Yeah.
We'll be having a new winner on Friday. We haven't announced yet which one we're going to be picking that from, although I believe this week is all Facebook and Twitter, so it's going to be one of those two. We're not going to tell you which one because we kind of want you to sign up for both of them, but we'll be picking a new winner from Facebook or Twitter, and we'll be announcing that on Friday and giving them a very, very nice prize.
Yes, it's going to be the Logitech T650 glass wireless touchpad, that at $80. Very, very nice prize, and some lucky person's going to be getting that this Friday when we announce the winner, probably in the second hour of the show. Okay, so that said, why don't we introduce our guest this hour? And the name of the company is Kyasi, and according to them, it's a fast-growing and emerging manufacturer of offering their own brand of top-quality mobile accessories. Here to talk about his company and what it does is Steve Simonson, the CEO of Kyasi. Steve, welcome into Computer America. How are you, sir?
I'm doing very well, guys.
Thank you for joining.
Yeah, thanks for joining us.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a pleasure to be here. You know, I have to tell you, the news segment was an emotional roller coaster for me because you know, you killed me when I was down in the Netflix doing ads. That was bad news for me. And then, but you brought me back to life with the frying pan that will do my cooking for me. So I'm all about that news. Very good job.
Well,
I hope we didn't tire you out for your hour that you have to do with us now.
Nonsense. No, it energized me. Except for the ads, I'm ready to start rampaging against Netflix right now.
well, we can
Perfect.
always play a couple of ads for you if you like, make you feel more at home.
Yeah,
Oh,
sure.
no.
So now the company, it's called Kyasi. Is that I'm pronouncing it correctly?
Yeah, Kyasi. We don't really mind how people say it, however it works.
All right. So tell us a little bit about the company. What does it do?
So as you mentioned, we focus on mobile accessories, and that ranges anywhere from phone cases or screen protectors, all the way through to power products. We have really neat, fun little gadgets we do, but really it's all about the mobile lifestyle and helping people get the most out of their mobile devices.
Okay. Now, I have to say this. I mean, when you go to some of these conventions like CES or something, I have to say, and I'm sure you probably are aware of this too, that you're going to see a lot of cases for iPhones. There is a lot of competition, and a lot of them doing that. So what does it do, Kyasi, that might make you stand out from most of these companies that are just that make so many different? It's like a little cottage industry that's been built up around. It's not even a cottage industry; it's more like a city industry that's built itself around smartphones these days. What is it? Why is your product? Why are your products different?
Well, it is super hyper competitive. You're right. At CES, there's complete sections of the halls dedicated to these sorts of accessories.
Yeah.
Our principle is really to try to take something that makes sense, the basic concept of covering your phone or your tablet, and add a little bit of style or color or maybe a value-added feature. So to try to differentiate, the premise for us is, how can you deliver high quality at a reasonable price and maybe just a little twist of a different feature or benefit. And that's what we've tried to do. And so far, I think we've been pretty successful and pretty lucky. Because we've been able to meet a lot of customer needs, and it doesn't mean it won't be. It is more than a cottage industry at this stage. You're quite right. There are public companies that focus just on this mobile accessories category.
Yeah, you must stay up late at nights saying, I'd love to be a fly on the wall some of these sessions. Okay, what are we gonna? We're gonna make a case for an iPhone, but we've got to figure out something that nobody else has done, or we've got to change it somehow. I mean, it's. I would think there's a lot of hair pulling and trying to come up with.
You think that all the innovation goes into actually making these smart devices, but I guess innovating for the protection and the use of these devices is probably just as important.
Well, it's funny because first of all, I had a full head of hair at the start of this year, so yes, there's a lot of hair pulling. Secondly, the reality is that as the devices evolve, there's no question that we have to play catch up, right? So, a year ago at this time, the iPhone 5 was the deal, and although we all anticipated the iPhone 6, none of us knew exactly what was coming. And so, as fast as you get caught up to date on the current technology, then something new comes down, and we all have to react to it and try to keep up with it. And obviously, it's not just Apple. Samsung and their lines and so many others all keep moving.
Yeah, I mean, for example, Samsung just came out with their Edge, the smartphone that has where when you put it face down on the left and right side, you can still see the screen. I mean, if you're designing a case for that could be a problem because you need people to be able to see that. How do you make a case that doesn't hide that part of the screen? Right?
Yeah, that's code nightmare to us. Nightmare. All of these things where there's new features and things, we just try to stay up with the functionality, what the case or the device is intended to do.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas we have to balance that with the protection that so many people feel is necessary for these, inherently delicate devices. They're cool and they're nice, but boy, you get one of these in your hand and it can fall and it can break, and it's very expensive to fix these things. So it's always that balance of trying to make the device still usable, but adding some level of protection.
Yeah, although he's gotten a lot better at protecting his phone, and Ben will certainly relate. I mean, how many screens did you go through on your iPhone?
Oh, yeah. I was somewhere around screen number 3 that I was replacing by hand, and I was like, okay, time to get a new one. And because the last one unfortunately was driven over by a truck that parked on it, and I was like, maybe I'm not the usual use case, and I need some extra protection. And cases. I mean, they save you time, they save you money, and they save you headaches. So yeah, I'm now like I used to be just one of those people that was just like, hey, it's a phone, it doesn't need too much, it'll be fine. But now I'm a firm believer in cases. That's for sure.
Well, and there's a whole different segment of users, the folks that just want the device kind of naked, as we call it, just with nothing. They just want to use it and they don't want to be bothered. And then there's the folks who are like, hey, I want the super military, I want to drive a truck over it and have no problems, right? Those are the two extremes. And so generally we target the middle of that, where folks are looking for some kind of design or some kind of cool look, but some added benefit to go along with it.
So, so basically, you're trying to differentiate yourself, in this crowded mobile accessory space. Can you give us an example of one of the items that you feel that is different enough that our listeners, might be interested in hearing about? Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, so there's one category. I don't know if you guys have covered the concept of Qi wireless, spelled QI wireless. This is. Have you guys heard of this Qi wireless? It's kind of
something. Yeah, Chinese. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So the premise is that this has become a standard between all manufacturers except Apple. Right? They'll make their own at some point, and but all the other guys, including Microsoft and Samsung, they've all signed on to this Qi wireless. And some Samsung's phones, for example, have Qi built in. All the Nokias, I believe. There's countless devices, many dozens of smartphones, and that have this Qi wireless built in. We've been able to bring out Qi wireless adapters for the iPhone 6, so you could just plug in a little adapter, it slides behind your case, and then that becomes Qi compatible. And so you can just put it on any Qi base station or charging station, and it will charge up without wires, without need to plug in. And some of these adaptations have been something that the customers have really responded well to.
Okay, so wireless charging certainly is that's like the one of the holy grails, I guess, of smartphones, because who likes to take it and try to play? The idea is you just put it down on a pad or something, and it's going to charge up. It might not have.
If it's set on the pad, and then you have to rub it, and it gets the energy by kinetic. Yes.
And the faster you rub it, the faster it charges. I understand this. No.
That's right. We're going to sell a little mouse accessory that the faster it goes around the wheel, the faster your charge comes into your phone. No, the premise is it's a magnetic induction, so that the base station, the receiver, are kind of transferring the energy without the wires touching. You put it on that pad, and so we came out with a car Qi charging holder. So it's a cool car holder on its own, but it's got the Qi charger built in. So you can put your phone in there without wires. We've got a base station that's got a battery built into it, 5,000 milliamps. So you're able to take that with you on the go. Yeah. And that could charge your iPhone twice, and it doesn't even need to be plugged into a wall at that point. You could be at the beach and just put it down. So it's kind of that fun little gadget concept that works for us.
So let's backtrack just a little bit. How did Kyasi get started? I mean, what made you, again, in this world of so many of the same, what made you decide, okay, I
can do this better.
Yeah, I can do this.
Well, it kind of makes me think of that guy who did the razors. He didn't find one that he liked, and so ultimately he started his own company. I think it was a Gillette story.
Yeah.
Fundamentally, my story is when the iPad 1 came out, I found some cases, and they seemed really expensive to me. I just put all my money into this iPad, so why should I give the rest of it to the case? And then I found, so that was the high end, and then I found the low end where I can order for a penny from Hong Kong, and they'll send me something that resembles transparent paper, and it doesn't last, and we don't know what we're going to get. And so I found that the two extremes were either too much money for me and probably high quality and nice, or terrible quality and really not the right solution to protect my device. And so I struggle with this probably for 6 months. I went through a number of cases, and finally I have some experience with manufacturing and marketing, and I just went over to Hong Kong and Shenzhen, China, and we just started making our own and said, I can't be the only guy with this problem. And over time, that's extended from iPad cases on out to many other devices and accessories.
Have you thought that way with the just to kind of throw this out there? Any thoughts about the Apple Watch now that it's out there, or any kind of accessories come to mind about that? Or any thoughts on that?
Yeah, no, it's a good question. There's two obvious categories, and you'll see these popping up all over, and its own micro cottage industry, I suppose.
Yeah.
One is the stand for the watch to charge on.
Yes.
And we have several of those that we're developing. We haven't pulled the trigger on one yet because, again, it seems to be crowded, and we're not sure how to differentiate that, to be quite honest.
Mm-hmm.
The other is the screen protectors, which is a big category. It sounds like we need to get some screen protector counseling on that. We'll go one-on-one on that later. But the fact is, the Apple Watch has a sapphire screen to it, so it's already very tough. But there are a segment of users that want to keep their device like new if they ever sell it or trade it in. And as you guys probably know, this is a big part of what happens in mobile accessories. People take their iPhone 5 and they trade it in or they sell it. And this will happen on the Apple Watch, no doubt, as well. So by putting a piece of tempered glass over that Apple Watch, you're going to be able to protect that. And when you peel it off, the sapphire will be just like brand new.
But doesn't the Apple Watch it's also pressure sensitive? So it's not rigid. So you can force down on it. Will the tempered glass bend or flex to accommodate that?
Well, tempered glass, we haven't developed it with the rounded edges for this specific purpose. Mm-hmm. But if you inset it, then it's very strong, and it will be stronger than the surface itself inherently is.
Okay.
Sapphire's very tough on its own, but compared to a typical Gorilla Glass that you'll find on an iPhone or a Samsung type of device, tempered glass is a huge, huge improvement.
Well, the sapphire it's like with the second hardest substance. I mean, it's with the diamond. I mean, it's way up there in the hardness. I guess what people are worried about is scratches.
Yeah, scratches are kind of the day-to-day enemy, as I like to think of it. You put your phone in your pocket, you got keys, you got coins, whatever. The scratches are very common, and they can devalue your device quickly. Mm-hmm. But it's also the impact. When you drop your device and it lands on tile or concrete or what have you, face down, that heartbreaking, picking it up and seeing that shattered glass is just the absolute worst. And
I have on more than one occasion lost my phone in my bed, went and whipped the covers up, and I have seen my phone fly 15 feet just to clatter to the ground. I was like, okay, I have to go replace that screen now.
Yeah, it's a heartbreaking moment, and it's a costly moment too, to the extent that you do replace it. But mostly tempered glass in the right conditions can really help protect against impact as well.
But now you're a guy that's really into this, so you're the best guy to ask this kind of question. When you think about it, obviously you can drop your phone, it's on the bed, it goes flying. Are watches really subject to the same thing? I mean, watches really. I mean, first of all, they're strapped to your wrist. I can't remember the last time I dropped my watch. I mean, is it a different category, or am I wrong?
No, I think when it comes to kind of the dropping, the iPhone 6, for example, to me is a very slippery device. If you just hold it in your hands, it's very slippery, and I think that's more prone to dropping than a watch would be on a band.
Yeah.
By the same token, your watch may be rubbing up against other things that you may not be conscious of. And although Sapphire's tough, you go on a subway or you're on an airplane or who knows what you're doing, that thing is going to take more abuse than you probably think of it.
You're right. I mean, when you're wearing something, you just slam your hand up against the door frame or something, click, clack. You're right. So it is more conducive to hitting something maybe than a smartphone. You not necessarily dropped, but just because it's on your wrist, you might be able to hit something it's more it tends to be more exposed, I think, when you're wearing it on your wrist. So that makes perfect sense. Okay, so let's talk a little bit, because I'm looking at the website and you have a lot of interesting things. Like you have, let's talk about some things that you offer on Kyasi. For example, I'm looking at this pen here, a new stylus pen. It's a pen, it's a stylus, it's a laser. It's like everything in one. Tell us a little story
And
about.
a can opener.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
That's this really is kind of our little James Bond device, right? So for anybody who wants to fight crime or tease kittens, this is the device for you. Because so first of all, the stylus in itself is special. It's got a microfiber tip. That tip is extra sensitive. It's conductive. It's got a little mesh to it. Versus rubber, which is still good, but I think the microfiber is a little better. The ballpoint pen writes wonderfully, and then the laser, again, whether you're doing a presentation or teasing kittens, it's very, very effective and it's fun. And there's just a bunch of stuff packed into that little gadget. It's very fun.
Okay, and
I'm we're kind of, if you're watching the video segment of this, you can of course I have the video up playing, showing you taking it apart and just some of the things it could do. It design really is played a big part in this, because it looks like a high class pen. Like it's not just like a Bic. No offense, Bic. It's not just like a Bic. It actually looks very nice.
Yeah, it looks a bit like a cross pen or something along those lines.
Yeah, this is really designed to to serve the mid-level of the market. So folks who want something really nice. This is made of brass, so this is not a cheap stylus. And one of the things, a lot of the things that happen are people in the company that they find a pet peeve. My pet peeve is I hate a lightweight stylus. So a lot of times you pick up a stylus and you want to try to use it, and I've never been able to get on board with a stylus because they're so light and it just doesn't feel like anything. And the second part of my problem with the stylus is I never have it with me. But this way you have a pen, you're going to take it to your meetings, you're going to use it, and you've got the stylus there that can be used at the same time. So it solves problems for me. As you see there on the screen, lots of different colors. It's really done quite a nice job for us. Worldwide, it's done very, very well.
Yeah, I said it looks like something that would be nice to own, a quality product. So now let's talk a little bit more about, you mentioned this tempered glass, and I'm looking at the Kyasi Gladiator Glass Ballistic iPhone Screen Protector.
That's a mouthful.
It's a mouthful. It's like put this on and bullets will bounce off.
And of course, the word ballistics obviously makes nice images in your head.
Yeah, exactly. I would hold it up, protect yourself. Tell us about this.
Yeah. So the evolution of screen protectors, which Ben probably could use a little insight to, right? It started out with people putting the plastic film on the screens, right? And this is something. It's better than nothing when it comes to scratches.
The air bubble. The air bubble.
I hate putting it on. Air bubbles everywhere. It also, the clarity of your screen is diminished. And these screens are so beautiful, and that's what we pay so much money for. At this stage, it does a disservice to do it. So 4 or 5 years ago, fine. Plastic film's okay, but the evolution has now progressed towards the tempered glass. And in our case, the tempered glass has a ballistic layer in between the two pieces of glass. And so not only is it treated to be shatterproof, but it's got that layer in there to prevent it from breaking and falling apart or hurting somebody. The best part is it's got more durability. It adds a lot of durability to your device for those day-to-day scratches and things like that. And it's crystal clear and no bubbles. If you clean it, all you got to do is clean your phone properly. And sometimes there's airborne contaminants, so there's little tricks and tips that we share how to do it. But as long as you get it on there, it's crystal clear. It's basically invisible. You can't tell it's there. And people are loving that in terms of a day-to-day.
This will appeal to people who like the raw phone itself. They don't want to add a case. They want it, I guess, naked. This is probably as close to naked as you can get with your phone.
It's certainly, for my money, having no screen protection is not an option. and that's just because the cost of these devices is so significant, and the cost of the protection is so insignificant by contrast. So it just makes sense, and there's no compromise when it comes to clarity, touch sensitivity, or any of that other stuff.
Right, exactly.
And not to mention, just as a tech person to a tech audience, get a screen protector. They're not that expensive, and they work miracles. So you don't even notice that they're there. Just get one. You need them.
This coming from someone who
This comes from someone who has driven over their iPhone on multiple occasions. Yes, just get one.
I like that. A reformed screen abuser. I like that.
Yeah, and again, you can see these if you because not only can you listen to our show, but if you watch the video component, Ben is actually showing a video off the Kyasi website showing the screensaver and how it works. And again, someone's taking a key. It hurts me to even watch this, and raking the key up against the smartphone, and you can see there's not a mark on it. So it's very hard. Oh, now he's taking a razor blade. He's getting a box
cutter.
A box cutter to this thing, and
that's not holding back, by the way. That's full on pushing down.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure next there'll be a feral cat.
That's how the spots got there.
Exactly. So now, as you continue to improve this technology, are you going to take it to the next step? Like people who worry about water damaging the phone, making things waterproof. I mean, how far do you want to take this, or how far can you take this, really?
For us, we try to think about it from the perspective of the customers, and address the parts of the market that may not be already covered. So we feel like the people who want the super industrial, waterproof, whatever, there's options out there in the market. They're pretty good options at that. Mm-hmm. Our next evolution is something that we're just putting out there on Indiegogo here just recently, but it's an iPhone 6 screen protector with titanium alloy to curve on the edges. And this is one of those things you talked about earlier. The evolution of these phones keeps happening. How do you protect those edges? And this is one of our first goes at that.
Interesting. So it actually is flexible. It bends around the edge of the phone.
Exactly. So the tempered glass is inset in the center, and then the edges have the titanium alloy that go around, and they really do come edge to edge for the iPhone 6 or 6 Plus. That's just the beginning. We'll bring it out for the S6 and some of the other curved phones as well.
And the Samsung Edge. Yeah. I think there's one. Samsung also has one that's a curved phone. Although I don't know if curved screens are actually going to catch on. I think that, but the Edge is definitely. We can
hope.
Yeah, exactly. All right. So then, for the, I guess for the mobile warrior, people are looking for folio cases or something a little bit more. How should I say? Upscale. Like leather-like type things. What do you have some products for them as well?
Yeah, we especially like, there's different segments again. Some people prefer sleeves, and so for the Kindle, Paperwhite, and iPad, we've done really, really well with these very simple sleeves. So that's one end of the spectrum, and then folio cases are another end, which is a traditional style folio, but we sew in some little business card slots and some pouches and things, and then we make them in a large assortment of colors, as you can see. So it's, for us, we kind of go deep in functionality and then wide in colors.
Okay. All right. And also,
just a side note, sorry if this is like a Memorial Day thing or something like that, and by the time people listen to it, this isn't going to be around, but everything is on sale for like 70% off. What is going on?
It is a promotional event. I don't know the dates of the promotion beginning and ends, but I can assure you that there's always good deals, but in particular now they're excellent deals.
Yeah. Just want to throw that out there. I mean, for $10 for some of these is crazy cool. Definitely go check it out.
Exactly. So and again, now I'm looking at the something you call touch hide. It looks like a really nice leather, but and it's authentic touch hide. What is a touch hide?
Well, this is a good marketing lesson. It's not real leather, but it's authentic touch hide, which is meant to look and feel like leather. We've put this in front of a test group It's beautiful. It's supple. It feels like leather. Interior has kind of a nice, almost crushed velvet type of microfiber. Very soft inside. And you put your iPad or your Kindle Paperwhite, or we have it in various device sizes. But it's so simple. It gives you all the protection you need as you carry around the device, and it's simple, dead easy to get out when you're ready to use it. More than 50% of the people assume that this is real leather at first glance, and it is a beautiful, simple accessory.
Yeah, exactly. And again, you can see pictures of this. Ben's actually showing some of the different folio cases and the touch hide. And I see you also have products of the week. I guess basically, so you keep coming up with different ideas and different products. You have executive keyboards that you offer, and just a wide variety.
And they're all chic. They're all they're all very good looking.
Yes, and again, if you want to see these, you can go to the website at kyasi.com, kyasi.com, or you can just go to computeramerica.com. And where you can see these as well. Steve, anything else that we might not have that you want to mention to our listeners about?
No, I appreciate you guys being on. I would suggest for anybody who's interested in the new titanium alloy to check us out on Indiegogo. Just search for KYASI. That's on Indiegogo, and you'll find us. It's a fun new product. It's already been produced. It's now almost ready to ship, but this is kind of our first way of using crowdfunding as a introduction to the marketplace.
Excellent. Well, Steve, I want to thank you so much for being with us here on Computer America. Again, Kyasi.com, and best of luck to you. And thank you for being with us on Computer America.
Right. Thanks again.
All right, thank you. Good night. All right.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. You're listening to the Computer America Show. We've got more computer and technology news, another brand spanking new News Tips Bulletin review from Marty Winston. That's all coming up here in hour 2 of Computer America. We will be right back. Looking for a best friend? Brother Wolf Animal Rescue has your best friend waiting just for you. The mission of Brother Wolf Animal Rescue is to help build a sustainable, no-kill community where no dogs or cats are ever killed for population control, where true euthanasia is reserved only for animals who are irremediably suffering or for animals who are truly a threat to society and with no hope of rehabilitation. Brother Wolf's staff and volunteers go door to door, neighborhood by neighborhood, to educate citizens about local resources available for at-risk pets and to help their families connect with those resources. Brother Wolf's community-based approach to no-kill helps keep family pets healthy, happy, and in their homes and out of the local shelter system in the first place. For more information or to make a tax-deductible donation to this wonderful 501c3 organization, visit their website at www.bwar.org. Help to realize Brother Wolf's vision when no animal is euthanized for lack of a home.
Who's a good boy?
Hi, this is Craig Crossman, host of the Computer America Show. You have important meetings to schedule. Your company's getting ready for its IPO, and you're in charge of the PTA fundraiser this month. So how do you coordinate everyone to be available at the same time? Are you still using emails, phone calls, even text messages to schedule meetings with a group of people? How's that working out for you? That's so great, huh? It's a fact that every day, millions of people suffer from scheduling headaches. Well, with Doodle, scheduling meetings with a group of people is quick and easy. With Doodle, you can easily propose available times to each member. Each one checks off the times that they're available and the time that works best for the group, all in an easy-to-read display that integrates with your existing calendar. Nothing could be more simple. Give Doodle a try for free, and like millions of Doodle users, you'll truly see how easy it is to find the perfect date and time for all your meetings. That's www.doodle.com.
And a thank you, boys. It's Marty Winston with a News Tips Bulletin Review for Computer America. This time, the Anova Precision Sous Vide Cooker. You or your significant other may have heard of sous vide cooking. But so many people think it's just another kind of crock pot. Well, that's a crock, and we'll tell it our way.
Oh, it's there in the ironing
In
board.
the
I'm
sous
sorry.
vide pot, the only thing you cook is water. It's the water that cooks the food, and the water never touches the food. The food is in either a sealed plastic vacuum pouch, sous vide means in a vacuum, or you can carefully lower in a press-to-seal bag so the water forces the air out, and you seal the top to keep the water out. Either way, the trick is to carefully maintain the water temperature at precisely the end point appropriate to the food, like 170 degrees Fahrenheit for poultry or 150 for beef. So how do you maintain that precise a temperature and keep the water in the pot circulating? We got in the Anova Precision Cooker, a tall cylinder about half the size of a baseball bat that plugs in for power, clips to the side of the pot, and provides the heater and pump that lets sous vide cooking happen. A companion app has recipes. When you find one you like, a touch connects to the cooker over Bluetooth and sets the time and temperature, really just the temperature, automatically. A digital display atop the cooker shows the current and target temperatures and confirms Bluetooth pairing. Bottom line, the Anova Precision Cooker is a compact way of getting into the world of easy, perfect, essentially foolproof sous vide cooking. It's Marty Winston with the News Tips Bullet Review for Computer America.
Welcome back to the Computer America Show. Here, 34 minutes past the hour, and we just got off the air with Kyasi. Very, very nice looking devices. By the way, we have their Kickstarter here up on our screen that they're kind of funding. Lots of different price points. An early bird special, in case you wanted to get this product before it hits the shelves, and of course for a cheaper price than you would. Definitely go check it out over at Indiegogo. But yeah, no, they had awesome looking cases and stuff like that. Very, very stylish. So you can't fault them for that.
Oh. All right. So we have about a half hour left. So why don't we continue doing some more computer and technology news? It's brought to you by Slimware Utilities. And we'll finish out the hour with some news stories. Okay?
All right, sure.
And this story is actually from Popular Science. Are you a big Enrique Iglesias fan?
Personally, no. Not a huge fan of his. I think he's a dancer. Or musician.
Yes, musician.
Okay, musician. No, not personally.
Okay. Well, anyway, he was up on stage, and we live in an age of drones, and evidently one of the fans in the audience, people are taking pictures, and they wanted to, get a better shot of him performing on stage. And what better way to do that is to take your camera, put it on a drone, and have at it. So anyway, Enrique Iglesias was doing this. He had actually done the routine before, taking hold of the drone while on stage to sing into its mechanical eyeball, But at a show that he was doing in Tijuana, Mexico, this past Saturday, his hand slipped up and caught the drone's blades instead. Ouch. Ouch.
I have yet to hear something, no offense to Tijuana, I've heard more bad than good about Tijuana, and this just goes into the bad category where Tijuana has now injured Enrique Iglesias.
Iglesias' hand. Yes, exactly. So, while he could have gone off stage with his hand soaked in blood and everything, but he decided to stay on the stage for 30 more minutes.
So he was a trooper about it.
Yeah, he was a trooper about it. But today, he's undergoing reconstructive surgery for his hand.
Oh,
yeah. So
they actually have a video of it here.
Yeah.
Just kind of watching it here. Yeah, he's kind of holding it by the tip, and looks like he's kind of bringing it down, and his hand slipped up.
Yeah, he's going to catch it, basically.
Yeah, there it goes. See, it caught, and it kind of wrapped around his hand there for a second.
Yeah,
it didn't slow him down for a beat.
Yeah, it's a quadricopter, and so this is a it's got four blades on this thing. It's like
It's not those little ones that you see at the mall, that you see those guys at the kiosk kind of flying. You're like, oh, well, I hope that doesn't fall on some kid. No, this was a pretty big one.
yeah, and they did. It took a bite out of his hand, but he keeps on doing his thing. But evidently, I mean, these aren't little plastic blades. These things are moving at the really high speeds. They weigh just over 6 pounds. It's counted as a medium drone under Mexico's recently published guidelines for remotely piloted aircraft. And he first was holding it with both hands, and then he moves one hand to adjust the angle of the camera, and his finger got caught in the blades. So there was a well-timed confetti cannon that blocked the cell phone's camera filming the injury.
As we saw, yes.
Yes, but we can still see that, he tosses the drone aside. He really got nipped.
If drones could bite, that would be what a drone attack would look like.
Yeah, I wonder if the fan
latched onto his hand.
Yeah, exactly. But they're not outlawed. But they can be inherently dangerous.
Yep.
Yeah. So you got to be careful. Please don't want to reach out and grab one while it's flying toward you. I don't think that's a good idea. But anyway,
speaking of drones.
Yes.
This next story that we got here from Popular Science, Kelsey Atherton. Google's high-flying internet drone crashed in New Mexico weeks ago.
Ooh.
And by the way, if you haven't seen the picture of this thing, it's the Solera 50. It looks very, very cool.
Yeah.
So, they have a bunch of new products and services that they announced. I believe it was today or last week. They had their Google I/O developer conference where they're showing all the cool things that Google is doing.
Mm-hmm.
And one of them was a Google-owned drone that provided free internet Wi-Fi for remote places. Like, this thing would fly overhead, and you could connect to it via Wi-Fi because it was beaming out a continuous, strong signal. Just kind of want to Google, like Google's never going to make money on that unless they really want that hiker population to push ads to. But it crashed.
Wow.
It crashed in the sands east of Albuquerque, where it hit Bugs Bunny. Sad story. Sad story.
Did you look at the? It looks like the wings, though. The wingspan. It's all covered with solar.
Every square inch you could have, and I mean literal square inch you could have, has the solar panel on it.
Yeah.
So the drone drew its power from the sun, as we were just mentioning, and it was built by Titans. Titan Aerospace, which was a company that Google bought back in April 2014. The crash happened shortly after takeoff, with the Solera 50 falling to the ground, and apparently the news is just getting around today because the Wi-Fi signal was so weak because it crashed, so we didn't hear about it until today. No one was injured, but dreams of sky-relayed internet planes are at least a little deferred.
Yeah.
The solar panels covering the majority of its 50-foot wingspan. It was intended to spend most of its flight time at 65,000 feet, and at that altitude, it is mostly above other air traffic and above weather, free from ambient risk inherent to skybound travel. Once in place, it's supposed to stay airborne for up to 5 years, operating as a high-altitude satellite more than an active plane. But it's a little tricky to get all the way up there.
Yeah.
It didn't do so well. Crashed, as we said, crashed into the sands east of Albuquerque. I'm sure they have recovered all the pieces. I'm sure they will not litter. All the pieces have been picked up, and they will be trying again before long. So, that was that story. Google is trying stuff, and hey, sometimes you crash a drone. Sometimes, sometimes you make a car.
Yeah,
who knows?
And speaking of Google and things that they're making, Now, you know, we all, most of us are on some sort of a diet, you know, let's face it, you know. Evidently
Junk food's a diet.
Google's artificial intelligence is now training itself to count calories in food photos.
Oh yeah, by the way, there's a lot of Google news. We're not going to get to all of it tonight, but Google's I/O Developer Conference, they had a lot of cool stuff. So we're going to try to get some of it, but there's always more.
Well, this is very cool. I mean, you know, you order yourself a hamburger, you know, with fries and guacamole and onions and on a bun, you know, and so you some restaurants will print the calorie count of the food. Most don't. Most don't.
That's becoming state law in many states, where you have to put how many calories are in each item. Like we saw it when we first went out to California, and that was a couple of years ago, where they made it mandatory. Like we're like going to go eat at like Whataburger or I'm sorry, In-N-Out. Yeah, we went to go eat at In-N-Out or a Wendy's or McDonald's, something fast and easy. And every single, like everything from their fries to their shakes to their burgers, every meal had the calorie count right next to it. And that's becoming state law in a lot of places. So it's getting better, but this app could help you where that's not applicable.
Well, Google's AI experts, you know, they have all these other things they're working on: delivery drones and driverless cars and everything. Well, now they're focusing their attention to food. According to the Google research scientists unveiled a project that uses sophisticated deep learning algorithms to analyze a still photograph of food and estimate how many calories are on the plate. That's kind of cool. They're calling the app IM2 calories. M2 calories? I think this is an anagram, clever thing that I can't figure out. IM2 calories. Anyway, and in one example, the system looked at an image and counted 2 eggs, 2 pancakes, and 3 strips of bacon. Okay. Since those aren't exactly universal units of measurement, the system gauged the size of each piece of food in relation to the plate, as well as any condiments on it. And basically, and they're saying that, you know, you can take the picture or any standard Instagram quality shot should do. And in this, and then it will give you the final calorie count. That's basically it. It's pretty straightforward. So
I don't know if you've ever tried a calorie count, but if this thing is even remotely close, and they said off by about 20%, which is pretty close. Calorie counting is one of the hardest things to do, because if you go make yourself so and so, and you kind of throw everything together, you really don't know. Like, you have to guess how much each ingredient has, and then you have to guess what the whole thing has.
Well, yeah. What if it confuses a fried egg for poached egg? You know, or you know, if it only works.
Well, an egg's an egg, and there's probably a few calories difference between cooking preparations or cooking methods, but an egg's an egg.
Well, I'll tell you though, even if it's really not completely accurate, I still think it'll have an impact. I mean, you take a picture of your food in front of your face, and it says, well, that food's got like 750 calories, or you know, or it says no, it's got 2,000 calories. You might want to reconsider. You know, although if you're taking a picture of the food, you probably already ordered it, and you're going to have to eat it anyway. You can't send it back and say sorry.
Well, it's not about sending it back. It's about portion control. If you're trying to stick to, let's say, 600 calories a meal, and you take a picture and you guess it's about 800, but then for some reason the app says that there's actually 1,200 calories or about there, you then eat half of it and take the other half home. It's a tool to help you with portion control and dieting, which before too, you just kind of had to guess.
You know, if they can make cars that self-drive, they should be able to make this app more accurate. I mean, you know, the challenge is making an autonomous car.
No, actually, an autonomous car is much easier than this, I would think.
How so? I mean,
you get a powerful enough 3D imaging hardware, like radar and all that kind of stuff, and you can map each individual point. Like you can map, okay, that's a person, that's a dog, that's a fire hydrant, that's a pole, that's a reflector, that's a line in the road. You can map everything just fine. That's those things are they're in one form or another, but you know what they are. It's not that easy with food. It sounds ridiculous, but if you've ever tried to count your calories, it's sometimes it's really, really hard because you just don't know.
Well, I guess, and especially when it's all thrown together like that, like a picture on the plate there, it's really hard to get it to discern what it is that it's looking at. Pattern recognition or calorie vision in this instance would be difficult.
Both helpful.
Yeah, but helpful. The app is not available yet. Obviously, they're still working on it. But this is something that I don't know if you can download it now, but certainly something to take a shot at and see it. Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, that's it.
Okay. No. This next story off Popular Science just knocked it out of the park. By the way, they have great stories today. Definitely should go check it out. Alexandra Osolo Osala, there we go. Submitted this one with: your doctor could grow a tiny version of your brain in a dish, so he can eat it. Because he's one of those kind of doctors. No. The article kind of starts off saying that medications for psychological conditions is notoriously tricky. One drug works differently for individuals in this, with the same condition, and can even change over time in the same person. Anything to do with the brain, we have it pretty much figured out, but it's still very, very, like, knowing that you have a broken bone, you put a cast on it, you're done. Depression or anxiety or any other kind of mental illness, very, very hard to diagnose and then treat with medication. And just like they said, each person is different. Each person has a different brain, and even the same brain changes over time. So so they came up with this neat little trick, which is they've been able to create tiny versions of a patient's cerebral cortices in petri dishes, which would allow them to test how drugs would work on a patient's brain before prescribing the one that works the best. And again, this was published in the journal Nature Methods. In the past, they figured out a way to extract stem cells from a patient's skin and grow them into neurons in the lab. But testing drugs on neurons doesn't give researchers any information about how they affect the brain circuitry, because a brain is not just a neuron. A brain is a huge mass of a lot of neurons.
Trillions of them. Yes.
Trillions. So this new technique allows them to use the same cells from a patient's skin to create a three-dimensional complex of neurons. This is a quote-unquote budding cortex, or a very small-scale version of your brain in a petri dish. And then that lets them see the circuitry disorders and how they affect your brain. The researchers note that the petri dish cortices aren't nearly as complex as the real brain, and they can't yet reveal much about circuitry disorders, but they hope that in the near future, these little budding cortices could be used to tailor psychological medication for each patient. So it's just in the fledgling stages, but going from one neuron to a lump of neurons, and to eventually, hopefully someday in the future, a lot of qualifiers there, in the near future, allow them to create a complex enough sample of your brain so that you don't have to take medication and say, okay, does this make you suicidal? Does this make you homicidal? Does this make you, does it make it worse? They can try all this stuff out before they make you the guinea pig.
This is your brain in a petri dish. Exactly.
And this is your brain on antidepressants, and bam, there you go. But I just find it cool that it's first of all very, very non-invasive. Skin cells turned into stem cells, turned into neurons, turned into quote unquote budding cortices, which then hopefully will become full-blown giant lumps of cortices that they can test on.
Yeah.
Medicine continues to evolve.
Yeah, exactly. Medicine continues.
Medicine, and let's face it, technology is, of course, at the heart of that.
Of course, exactly. Well, speaking of technology, I wanted to just do this story. I don't, Corsair. They make different cases for computers, and they're unveiling this latest one called the Obsidian 750D Airflow Edition case. And basically, they're giving it a facelift. It's been around for a long time, but they took this 2-year-old computer chassis, and they've designed it to improve airflow. And basically, there's a 140 millimeter fan in the back, and you can put up to 8 cooling fans in it, or you can use liquid cooling on it. Basically, it's a really flexible case. It's been around for 2 years, and they've just upgraded it. It has a black monolithic design with brushed aluminum and solid steel construction. It's got 9 expansion slots to it. It's got 3 tool-free 5¼ inch bays, 4 front-mounted USB ports.
That's a lot of numbers.
Yeah, I know, but basically, it sells for $160, and they just reintroduced it. And if you're looking for a case, you might want to check out the Corsair, the 750D Airflow Edition case.
I believe the computer I'm actually broadcasting from right now is a Corsair, like the case.
Yeah, I think you're right.
It's very big, very nice airflow. Corsair, good stuff.
Yeah, exactly. But they've improved it slightly. They're set it up.
Oh, great! So now my stuff is out of date.
No.
That's what I like to hear. All right, one last story to wrap up the night with. Yes, we're going back to Apple, and Apple, if you recall, purchased Beats Music.
Yes, they did.
Yeah. So the Wall Street Journal, citing the infamous unnamed sources, the best source. Oh, by the way, this article comes from CNET. Joan Salzman, by the way, did all the legwork for this one. And they said that they reported Monday that Apple's subscription streaming service will have a standard $10 a month price to listen to any song on demand.
Okay.
That's not bad.
No, not at all.
Other outlets have reported previously that Apple was negotiating with labels to have a lower price, but failed to win that concession. $10 though for unlimited music, for any music on demand, isn't bad at all, especially with Netflix. Netflix with a lot of movies and content for $9. Any music for $10 is pretty good. So yeah, Apple, if you recall, Apple bought Beats last year for $3 billion.
Billion, yeah.
Yeah, with a B, and acquired the company's subscription streaming music service in the deal. Yeah, it's they should be relaunching that here in the within the next week, I believe. They'll probably make an announcement for it at the WWDC, the Worldwide Developers Conference, I believe.
Yes. When is that happening?
June 8th.
June 8th. Okay, it's right around the block. Yeah.
Just a week away.
Yeah.
And the service likely won't have an ad-supported option that lets listener hear its whole catalog without paying, as Spotify does. Apple plans to augment its free ad-supported internet radio service, which is now iTunes Radio, with channels programmed and hosted by human DJs. You may hear Computer America brings you the oldies and the goodies. No, but Apple also has yet to close this deal with 3 major record labels, which could delay the unveiling of the new service. So I said next week might be a little bit longer. But if you are in the market for an unlimited streaming service, Apple Beats should be right around the corner.
Yeah, I always like to speculate what we're going to be seeing. The Worldwide Developer Conference really is where Apple makes a lot of new announcements.
Yes, that's where Steve Jobs had a lot of his infamous. Oh, and one more thing.
Yeah, well, actually, he did that with all of his keynotes.
Yeah,
you can do that well, but But and and Tim Cook, who's the CEO, picked that up a little bit. He would do that once in a while because everybody kind of
people love that kind of people love that kind of showmanship.
I do. That's what he did with the Apple Watch. He says, "Oh, we have one more thing," and that's when he introduced the Apple Watch. So it's a.
But what do you think we're going to see? Are we going to see a new operating system? Are we going to see a new something?
I think maybe something about Apple TV. Finally, maybe.
You think?
Yeah, I think that's in the works.
They had a really good moment with Apple TV picking up HBO Now, and it like honestly, Game of Thrones we don't talk about enough on the show, but Game of Thrones, like the series, it is all the rage right now. Like people love that show. It has never been higher, and for Apple to lock in that 3-month exclusivity deal, that could not have paid off better because that show is on fire, and really the best way to get it is through Apple.
Yeah. It's interesting because HBO, they have all these shows, but they go through this. They go through that. They're really hot, and then they fizzle out. But right now,
90 seconds.
Not showing any of that happening with Game of Thrones. Hey, coming up tomorrow night's show, we're going to have Keep It Safe is going to be on here. This is they basically are an online service that does data protection and uses some very, very key state-of-the-art technologies to maintain that protection. And then in the second hour, we're going to have Bindle Chat.
60 seconds.
This is it's a different way of chatting as opposed to social networks and messaging apps, and it's a really cool little app that allows you to do group chatting. It's called Bindle Chat. We have the company's CEO and founder Chris Toy with us on tomorrow night's show, so it's going to be an interesting program, and we look forward to having you there with us. Again, I want to thank Steve Simonson, CEO of Kyasi, who kind of showed us all the different Kyasi products. Thanks again for being here on the show tonight. And we will see you all tomorrow night. So until tomorrow night, this is Craig Crossman hoping that your hard disk never becomes floppy. We'll see you tomorrow night.
Good night, everyone.
10 seconds. Thank you for using Blog Talk Radio. Goodbye.
Okay, again, everybody, thanks for watching. And Ben and I will see you tomorrow night. Same time, same station. Thanks for being here with us tonight.
Yep. Good night, everyone.
Good night, everybody.